What's up, guys? We're gonna cook some spare ribs out on my Recteq Pellet grill. Raining outside and just a nasty day, so I'm on vacation. Rather be fishing, but I thought I'd do this, kind of help pass the day and share what I do on making these spare ribs. I buy them from Costco's. They come in 3 in a pack. It's a great deal. I'll go ahead and I'll pull them apart out the package when I get home, and I vacuum pack them in separate racks. So I'll cook one of these today. We'll each get 3 or 4 ribs, and I'll have some deer sausage with Steen syrup and green onions that we had made up in Lagno's and Lafayette. And they're delicious. So that's going to make a nice little meal for us tonight. It's a pretty long cook, so it's, let's see, 12:30. I'm gonna go ahead and start preparing it and get it on the grill now. So I just, like I said, I vacuum packed it. I'm gonna pull it out, kind of look at them, try to clean them up a little bit. Get that membrane off of there. Get a butter knife. Let's see. Kind of started off with a butter knife, and then I'll grab it with a paper towel, and it makes it so much easier for these things to be pulled apart. You want to get this off, or you can get some seasoning in there. I'm going to cook them. I started off at 250, my pellet grill. I'll cook it through the whole way through at 250 degrees. And I will, I don't have a certain way I do it. I just kind of, I look at them and I feel them, and temperature wise, there's no set way. I just want to be able to see. I want the color to look good. I'll probably smoke it for a couple of hours at 250, unwrapped. I'm going to put a rub on it, season it up, and then we'll wrap it in aluminum foil for an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, until it becomes probably around 205 degrees, and the bones are kind of protruding out of the side. It's like it's separating itself from it. I like using the spare ribs more than the baby back ribs. I feel like there's just so much flavor, so much, a lot more fat in it. You can see how pretty these are. I went ahead and I'm trimming up the back side to get some of the fat off and just clean it up a little bit, and look at the front side a little bit. Might take a little bit of this off. A lot of this fat will render out, but I want to get the biggest part of it off. And you can see just all fat. Get this out. And most people are barbecue baby back ribs, backyard barbecue people. And that's what I used to cook a lot, until one time I went ahead and I cooked these, and my family loved them. They were so much better tasting, and so they told me this is what they want from now on, so this is it. So I'm gonna leave that in right there. And what I'm gonna do now is I'll go back to the back side. I'm gonna start seasoning that side up. I'm gonna take a couple of limes. I like putting lime juice on my beef and my pork. I think it helps tenderize it a little bit and just puts a good flavor on it. And I'm gonna rub all of that in. And these are so easy to cook. It's fun. I'm gonna go ahead and use a mustard base to bind my rubs. I have this Heat Sweet Barbecue rub and his cherry rub, and I have my own black pepper, salt, garlic mixture. It's 60% black pepper, 30% salt, and 10% garlic. And I just ground pepper and kosher salt. And that's what I use, because I felt like all of this other stuff we used to use was just too salty. And I have health conditions, as this whole YouTube channel is about. I was diagnosed with stage 4 renal cell cancer in May of 2019. And Jesus is still healing today. I am walking testimony that I'm still here when the doctor said I wouldn't. I found a doctor that Jesus is using to help heal me. So what I'm doing now is just trying to help other people with this channel through their journey with cancer. And also, this is my passion, is cooking. So cooking and fishing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some stuff like this and you know, help some people out. There's a lot of people out here that know how to cook. A lot of people just starting out that may need a little help. So I'll put a little bit of mustard on here and I'll rub it in, not a lot. Try to get it all over on the meat, especially the sides. Don't forget about the sides. And I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna layer my rubs. The one thing I've learned since I started, I got this pellet grill and smoking, it's so much easier to cook. It's Wi-Fi. I can set it up on my phone. I'll show you how when I turned on my pit. And you'll see how easy it is, and you can control the heat a lot better. Today I'm using B&B pellets, and it's a post oak, pecan, and a cherry pellet. So I get that kind of flavor out of it. I really like that mixture they have. So I'm gonna take some salt and pepper, and I'm gonna be pretty generous with it. And I'm on the back side first. I wanna make sure I get some on the sides too. I don't wanna miss the sides, man. And then I'm gonna go with my barbecue rub, the sweet rub first. I'm gonna be pretty generous with it. Again, the sides. I'm gonna pat it down. I don't wanna rub it in, I just wanna pat it. And then I'm gonna go with the cherry rub, color, flavor. Again, pretty generous. Sides. And I'm patting it in pretty good. Try not to waste a whole lot. That side's done. You can see what it looks like. Starting to look really good. Then I'm going to turn it over. Same thing. I'm going to take some lime. And I'm going to start off with the lime first. I'm going to rub that in. Come back with some mustard. Already did the side, so I don't have to worry about it. So basically now I'm worried about just getting this top part nice and pretty. This is what you're going to look at whenever it's on the plate anyway. So get salt and pepper on it and garlic mixture. Give it a little pat. And I'm going back with my sweet rub. On pork, sweet, not so sweet on beef. When you're seasoning, you can use anything you want. There's so many rubs out there, man. I just found this one and I'm using it for now. I'm not stuck on it. It's been good. This guy's won a whole bunch of barbecue championships. So I mean, you gotta go with what a winner, you know. I'm just a backyard barbecuer. Not competition. I don't even want to do competition. Like I said, I'm a survivor of cancer, and I'm just looking to enjoy life and help others and help pass the time of day and share what I love, my passion. So I'm going back with the cherry right now on it, and I'm just going to pat it down. You can see, I mean, that is pretty, very pretty. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let it sit for just a little bit. Pit's warming up, and I'm going to wash off this glove. This is another thing. Look, these things are expensive. They're hard to get now. If you wash it just like you wash your hands, you can save it. You don't have to throw it away. I'm a middle class guy and trying to save money every chance I get. So that's all I'm going to do with this. Once the pit's lit up and at 250 ready to go, we're going to put it on there and we're going to just leave it alone for 2 hours. I'm not going to open the top until 2 hours, and I'm going to look at it at 2 hours. I'm going to be feeling for to see if all of this rub that I put on is not coming off. I'm going to put my hands on it and just kind of, if it's staying on there, that means it's caramelized. And that's what I'm looking for. There's a good caramelization on the rib itself. The color of it, I want a pretty color because I want the presentation to look good when it's finished. And I'll do that all before I wrap it. And then we'll talk about wrapping later on. So I'll be back when I put it on the grill. I'll take my grill and I'll turn it on, set it down to 250 degrees, and when it becomes 250 degrees, I get a notification that it's at 250 and ready to go. So that's pretty cool and real easy to use. My ribs have been sitting there just for a little while. 10-15 minutes, my grill's ready. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and take them outside and put them on the pit. I have them ready, put on the grill. The grill's heated up to 250. It's a little thinner on this side. My grill gets a little hotter on this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them with the meatier part facing the side that heats up. And I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to cover it for 2 hours before I even open it and check it. And we'll see what it looks like then. If it needs to be spritzed or we still good. We're looking for the rub to be caramelized to where if you touch it, none of the rub comes off. It's all soaked into the meat. And once that happens, then we can go ahead and wrap it and put a little bit of sauce in it and stuff. I'll show you what we'll do later with that. So hang tight. 2 hours later, we'll come back and take a look at this. All right, I'm about an hour into the cook on the pit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get my my sauce ready for when I wrap it. I'm going to put a little mixture of liquid inside my aluminum foil. Keep it moist, help it cook a little quicker, and just bring more flavor into it. I got just Rouse's brand apple cider vinegar. Got about a half a cup here. I'm going to pour that in here. I'm going to take some honey and about that much honey. Get some brown sugar, just light brown sugar, and about that much. And I'm going to have this butter spray that I use a lot while grilling. I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in there. About that much. And I'm going to mix it up. Get it all mixed up. I have my sweet barbecue rub that I'm going to leave out. And what I'm going to do is whenever I lay my aluminum foil out, I'll probably use 2 layers of aluminum foil. Lay my ribs meat side down. I'm going to put a little bit of this on my aluminum foil first and put my ribs down, and then a little bit on top to continue helping with the flavor. And then I'm just going to pour some of this in there for my liquid while it's wrapped. And then I'll bring it up to about 205 and I'll start checking it, the ribs then, to see if they're ready to go. So I mean, this will all caramelize once the sugar and all of that heats up. It'll just help put a glaze on top of the ribs. So we'll wait. Got another hour to go to check the ribs. Just wanted to get this ready. I'll put this in the fridge until the ribs are ready to come out. 2 hours is up now. We're going to take a look at them, see what they look like, see if they need to stay on a little bit longer or what's the deal with them. Oh, they look good. Look so good. I'm going to touch them, just kind of rub them, see if I'm getting seasoning off of it. Got a little bit of season that's coming off, not a lot. Let me show you kind of what they look like. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the potatoes. I have some potatoes on here I'm cooking with it. I'm gonna put it on the hot side of the grill. I'm gonna let these go for another 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. I don't need to spritz them. I like what I like what they look like. I don't think I have anything that's burning on it. The bark is really starting to look good, and I think we'll be good in about 30 minutes. We'll be able to wrap it up. So wrapped at 164 internal temperature. I didn't know exactly what the temperature was. I was going more by look and feel than temperature, which is perfect because a good sign to wrap is in between 160 165. So I hit that one pretty good. So we're gonna let it go on Stampede probably an hour and a half at this temperature right here. If you don't have a pellet grill, I recommend the Recteq Pellet Grill. We call this one Old Cherry. We had an old cow that used to give us all kind of grief growing up, so I named it after that old cow. And just amazing. This grill is amazing. It's hard to make something come out not good with it. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. Well, I went ahead and I pulled it 2 hours and 30 minutes Everything looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and get it ready to wrap it. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna grab a little bit of this sweet barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna put it on the aluminum foil. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn these over on top of that. So I'm gonna put it on top of the rub that I just put on. I'll go ahead and take these off. Well, I'm gonna wash them. Don't want to save them. Wipe them off just like you do with your hands, and you can use them again. I use them with a white cotton glove. Keeps the heat from getting on my hands. And I'm going to take a little bit more of my rub, not a lot, put on it. I'll grab my mixture from earlier, and it's a liquid. I mean, it's pretty soft. And I'm just going to put that on top of my ribs. And it's going to get to the bottom. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab my first layer, and I'm going to wrap meat side down. Got it pretty tight. So I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one up. I don't want all that steam escaping. And then there it is. It was nicely wrapped, very tight. It's got liquid inside. I'm going to put it on the pit for probably an hour and a half more until it gets to about 200. I'll start worrying about it. But what I'm going to do right now is I got a probe that goes onto my my Recteq grill, and I am going to probe the meat, stay off the bone. It'll give me an idea what temperature I'm at, so I don't have to guess. Once I get it close, I have an instant thermometer that I can stick in, and I'll know exactly the temperature to make sure that it's still on the same page. So I'm gonna go put this on. I'll see you back in about an hour and a half. While the ribs are finishing up in the fall, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the glaze ready and have it ready for whenever the ribs are reach about 205. It's not so much the temperature, but it's the flexibility of the ribs. If they feel like they're falling apart, I want to look at the ribs, make sure that the meat is separating from the bone. But it's pretty simple. What I'm using is it's just apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna use 1 part that. And then I'm going to use this huge smokehouse sugar-free barbecue. It's honey flavored. It's pretty good. I like the idea it's sugar-free. So we're going to put some of that in there. But about 2/3 of this. And get that mixed into there. And then I'm going to go ahead and use some Steen's pure cane syrup, so I'm kind of defeating the purpose on the sugar-free, I think, but it tastes great. So, and it's got a pretty mahogany color to it. Not that much. Oh, it's so good. Go ahead and mix that up. Give it a little taste. A little bit more. Trying to knock out some of that, any bitterness from the vinegar. Oh yeah, very good. That's it. Okay, so in about an hour and a half, I'll check the ribs, probably pull them, sauce them, put them back on for about 15-20 minutes, let it caramelize real good, and then let them rest, and then it's time to eat. We'll probably cook some French bread with this. I have those baked potatoes on the Stampede. I'm gonna cut those in half, butter them up, probably put a little bit of cheese on them, put them back on the grill, and serve a half of for each plate of that baked potato. And we're probably gonna do string beans again with the teriyaki, and my family loves it. I'm gonna make a separate video on just how to make those string beans, because you gotta try them. They're amazing. So thanks, and I'll be back with you soon. They're showing at 207 right now. It could be that I'm touching the bone, but I am I'm an hour and 15 minutes into it. I'm going to take a look at them, see if there's any separation from the meat and the bone, and I want to do a you know, an instant temperature on it. So I have to open it up and take a look at it. Oh yeah, these things look amazing. You can see the ribs are separating from, I'm gonna bring the camera over, but let me get a temperature. Yeah, I'm done. So they basically cooked. I'll let you take a look at that. You can see how the ribs are separating. It smells amazing. What I'm gonna do now is pull them off, bring them inside, sauce them up real good, and then put them back on the pit without any aluminum foil and let them glaze up real good. So I'll see you back shortly. So I probed that it was 207. I probably should have pulled it around 203. I got some bones coming out. I mean, it's delicious. They it's fall off the bone. Good, I can tell you. So it's tender, ready. Let me glaze them up real good. And this will get caramelized on the grill. Notice I'm not rubbing it. I don't want to rub off any of my seasoning that I have on it. Get them nice and sticky. And I'll get them back on the grill for about 15 minutes. Leaving it at 250. The deer sausage is ready also. The potatoes I'll check, see if they're done. And I'll start making the string bean teriyaki. So stick with me and we'll go through that also. This is what I use for the teriyaki string beans. I use a half a tablespoon of all the seasoning except for the soy and the teriyaki. We'll explain that later. I have 1 whole tablespoon of parsley flakes, so a half a tablespoon for everything else. I picked up these at Costco's, and I am so impressed with how tender they are. Most definitely going to continue cooking with frozen string beans from Costco's. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes with the glaze on it. Let's take a look, see what it looks like. Oh yeah, those look good. It's going to look better when I get it out the pit. Got my deer sausage and my potatoes. They all should be ready. Well, here's a look at them before I cut them open. You can see how the bones have, I mean, they just want to slide right on out. Deer sausage looks amazing. I'm going to go ahead and cut these potatoes up and show you how I do that also. So I drizzled some olive oil on these and had them in the smoker most of the time. So what I'm going to do now, oh, they look good. I'm going to cut them in half. It's hot. Whew. Get one of these gloves back on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them this way. Yeah, they're done. I'm going to cut them that way. And that's how I'm going to serve them. So each one of us, there's 4 of us in our family. Each one of us will get one of these. I'll get the messed up one that I just messed up. So I'm going to spray some of this butter stuff in here. And put a little bit of my black pepper, salt, garlic on top. I'm going to put it back on the pit like this and just let that melt and get the skin a little crispy. And then we'll start on the string bean, teriyaki string beans. I'll show you that in just a sec. I want to do some French bread with it also. I'm not big on butter because of my health. So I use olive oil. I'll spray a little bit of olive oil on the bread. And it's amazing how it's not mushy from the butter. It gets crispy and just tastes really, really well. So I'm going to go with granulated garlic first. Alright, then I have some Italian seasoning from Rouse's I picked up. Just get that on there. Some basil. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of minced garlic also. Not a whole lot, just give it a little bit of a chunk every once in a while, a crunch. And I'm going to put a little bit more on top of that. And I have my grill set at 375. So I do that at the end where I can build it up, clean it off, and get all of the barbecue stuff off of it. So next time I go to start it up, it's all clean, ready to go. So I'm gonna put these on since the barbecue's at 375, and I'll probably leave it for 15-20 minutes. We'll see, I'm not sure, I'll watch it. So what I'm gonna do now is I have the string beans, they're frozen in here. Even if they wasn't frozen, I was always putting it in 3 minutes in the microwave, take it out, stir them around, 3 minutes again to soften them up. I like my string beans soft and a lot of flavor inside of it, and that's what helps get it in. So what I'm gonna do is put it in here. Put it for 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, I'll open it up, stir it around, put it back in for 3 minutes are up. I'm just going to take it, just kind of move them around, and put it back in. 3 more minutes. Okay, string beans are out of the microwave. You can see they're hot. I mean, it's 6 minutes they were in there, they're steamed. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get a pan going right here, and a little bit of olive oil on the bottom, and should have had this on. Turn that on, start heating it up. I'm gonna put some chives in here and saute them a little bit, just get them a little bit soft to start off with. So all I've done so far is put the string beans in the microwave, 3 minutes, turn them, 3 minutes more. That's where I'm at. Now we got all in the pot and heating it up. We're gonna put chives in here, season the chives just a little bit. So here we go. And you want to kick up string beans, this is the deal. This thing is so good. Like I said in an earlier video, my son brought this home from one of his friends' dads who cooks it, and he told me, "Dad, you got to cook this, it's amazing." So just a little bit of seasoning in there. We'll get something to stir it up with. And you can see I don't have a lot. I mean, I don't have a lot of string beans, so. Then they softened up a little bit, and that's all what I'm looking for, just a little bit. Get my string beans in there. Get that all mixed up, get some of that. I'm gonna season a little bit more of my string beans. And this is just salt, pepper, and a garlic mix that I create or make, put together. Kosher salt, brown black pepper, 60% brown black pepper, 30% kosher salt, and granulated garlic is 10%. So, you saw all the ingredients I showed on a clip earlier, so here they are right here. So we got a half a tablespoon of everything, except we have a whole teaspoon, a half of the teaspoon of all of this, and 1 teaspoon of the parsley. So I'm going to put that in here. Kind of get that stirred around. And I did forget one other ingredient. Onion powder, half a teaspoon. Just get it started stirring around. You can see it's all mixed in there really nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add teriyaki sauce. My wife found this stuff. It's a marinade sauce. It's got sesame seeds in it already. Last one I did was just straight teriyaki sauce, so about a half a cup of this. Probably shy of a half a cup. And about 3 heaping tablespoons of soy sauce. And don't tell my wife, but because we're Cajun. There we go. We'll hide it. We don't want to see it now. She doesn't like her food hot peppered, so I'll sneak it in for flavor. I mean, I try to always not cook and make everything. Cajun isn't always about making you sweat and having everything over spicy. That's such a myth. Cajun is about flavor. It's about seasoning of different types of herbs and just getting the most out of food that you can get out of it without it, in my opinion, burning your mouth out. So we have this. I'm gonna let it steam. Now remember, it's basically cooked already. So I'm gonna put a lid on it and let it steam for about 10 minutes on low, on simmer, and just to soften them up some more, because I love when the green beans are just soft and full of flavor. And this is an amazing dish that you have to try at home. You have to. Very good. Thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, please hit like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you know somebody who's dealing with cancer, like I am, share this video with them. Share my other videos with them where I'm talking about my journey and, you know, how I walked through it and kept a positive attitude through it. I was diagnosed May 2019, and today I'm healed by God's will. It's all Jesus is in His glory. As long as I'm blessed to be here, I'm going to have a good time, and I'm going to do some cooking and just talk about my journey through cancer. So I hope everybody had a blessed day. At the end of the video, I'll have a picture of the plated food on it. So thanks again, y'all.